Hey, you. Subscribe. You're watching Radio Free Cybertron. For the latest Transformer news, reviews, and more, visit tformers.com.
This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 354, recorded March 12th, 2014. I'm your host, Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Diecast, Don, and Melvar. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Windy.
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Yeah, very, very windy.
God, yeah. I mean, I about was blown off the road on the way home from work this evening. It was awful. So, what is this? Uranus or something? Vulcan? Which winter storm is this?
Huh?
Crappy. The eighth dwarf.
Yeah. So, you know, we weren't actually going to do a show this week, not a live show. We were going to do a JD tribute, and I never actually got it finished. So I'm like, what do I want to do? But then, bam! The best news like ever for me popped up today. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. But on the show this week, we have news, Q&A with Rob Springer, and This Week in History. A couple of bits of house cleaning. Of course, I want to remind everyone about the JD Church Giving Forward page. JD passed away. Gosh, it's been about a month now. It's hard to believe. I actually started writing him an email yesterday, and it just hit me. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've done that. We're never going to be the same without him. The show is never going to be the same without him. And it really sucks, to be completely honest with you. But JD left some bills and such, and to help out his wife Amanda, we've set up a Giving Forward page. We have a goal of $10,000. We're about halfway there, and we've got about 2 months to go. So if you could give anything, $1, $10, $5, $50, whatever, you can find out more at tfradio.net/JD, and we really would appreciate that. So one of the reasons that I was really not planning to put a show together this week is because, like, right after work tomorrow, maybe Friday morning, I'm heading out to Atlanta for Joe-Lanta. Rob Springer and I will be there. It's a Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Masters Universe, big toy convention. Used to focus primarily on G.I. Joe, but now they are expanding. Rob has a Transformers panel, and we have a table. So that will be fun. You can come by and see us. Hopefully you will hear this in time or view this in time. That will be March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th in Atlanta, Georgia. You can go to joelanta.org, joelanta.org to find out more. If you go to our Facebook page, we actually have an interview that Diecast put together this weekend. Diecast, why don't you quickly tell us about that interview?
Well, that interview was from the New Jersey Collectors Con. It was a convention. It's kind of like the one Brian's going to. It was just a little bit of everything. They had, people dressed up as G.I. Joe there. A whole bunch of, basically just a dealer room. They didn't have any panels or anything like that. So it's, I guess if you like a dealer room, it's a good show to go to, and it's only a day. But the most interesting thing was the gentleman from DCA Toys, who's actually creating the new Kronos figure, which is a masterpiece style Skyfire from the original G1 cartoon. It's 14 inches tall, so it towers over Masterpiece Prime MP10, and it's newly redesigned from the original photos that we got. So if you go to our Facebook page, you can also check out the new photos of it, and it looks amazing. And for the price, it's around $165 depending on the retailer. It's 14 inches tall. So you look at Fans Toys Scoria, which is roughly $200 depending on the retailer. This figure is probably double the size of it. I think they're saying it's
Wow.
going to be around 5 pounds.
Holy crap!
And they're only going to produce 1,000 of these. So they are soon going to be sold out. I think what the retailers did is out of this 1,000, like a store like Big Bad Toy Store said, okay, give me 50 of them. Big Bad Toy Store, while I was there at the New Jersey Collectors Con, listed it as sold out, along with a lot of the other retailers. Now, I think that because Big Bad Toy Store sold the allotment that they already agreed to buy, they said, give me more. And by now, the retailers have completely bought those 1,000 units that they're going to produce. So once the retailers sell out, they're completely out. They can't go back and buy any more.
Hey, Diecast, I know there wasn't a picture of anything about the jet mode, but did you get any hints of the transformation? Anything as far as, of the alternate mode, how it transforms, anything like that?
There is a render floating around out there, but as far as the exact transformation, I have no idea. We're supposed to get color shots in probably a week and a half, and this figure is actually supposed to be released the end of March, beginning of April. So, whether that holds true or not, but this figure is going to be in our hands pretty quick.
That was a great job putting that interview together. Really enjoy you being able to do that. I'm going to have to hit you up for that more often.
Yeah, no problem.
That was
Definitely.
awesome. That was awesome. Again, you can go to our Facebook page, and I'll also embed that in the show posting for this episode of RFC once that's out there at tfradio.net. Let's see here. Anything else? Oh yeah, one more thing. Thank you to everyone who has submitted a review on iTunes, Stitcher, or your podcast aggregator of choice. Keep them coming. It's the easiest, cheapest, simplest, best way to help share Radio Free Cybertron with the rest of the world. We do this podcast for free. I listen to a lot of podcasts that say, well, we do this podcast for free, and we'll keep it free as long as you buy it. Well, no, we're not asking you to send us money or, buy anything. We just, we do it because we love it, and because, we want to share our love of Transformers with you. So we're not asking for any money or anything like that. Just leave us a review. That would be awesome. We would appreciate that. It would be great. So I want to jump to This Week in History because a couple of items really jumped out at me this week. So in 1946, This Week in History, Frank Welker was born.
Yay.
Yay. Best known, of course, for being Freddy on Scooby-Doo.
Right. I thought I knew him for something else.
Oh, Santa's Little Helper. Santa's Little Helper.
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw. Very good, yeah.
Random animal sounds in every Disney movie ever made.
Yeah, and like half the Decepticons and G1 and stuff.
I was going to say, I thought he did, one or two Transformer voices.
Wheelie. He was Wheelie.
He was Rumble and Frenzy.
Megatron.
Even he didn't know if he was red or blue.
Season 3 Galvatron. Megatron mostly. Soundwave. Lots of awesome characters. So Frank Welker is awesome. Happy birthday. And I actually didn't even think about this because he's on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. But Neil Kaplan was born this week in history. I was like, hey, happy birthday, Ooh. Neil. But yeah, Neil, I keep forgetting. Neil was the voice of Optimus Prime. And he was also Rotor in Robots in Disguise.
And he was also Hawkmon in Digimon 02.
Yep, that was the Saban stuff, right?
Yeah, Saban did the double on those.
Yeah. He, I liked his Optimus Prime. It definitely has its own feel to it, and he's a great guy. I really like Neil. He's a great guy. But for me, the biggest item of the week. So in 1998, the Beast Wars episodes Code of Hero, Transmutate, and Agenda Parts 1 through 3 debuted on Cartoon Network during Toonami. So a second ago, you might have saw me, if you're watching the video, like me looking around for something. It's because they were actually also giving away toys during that if you called in a number.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So at that point, I was not the biggest Beast Wars fan. I really hadn't paid it much attention. But that airing on Cartoon Network really won me over. Didn't help that, like all 3 episodes are flipping amazing.
Yeah, that's a good batch of episodes to watch.
Yeah, so Code of Heroes, like, wow, Transmutate. I'm like, this is amazing. Then Agenda, like by the end of Agenda Part 3, I was just like hooked. But I also won Airazor that week that I was looking for because I still have that Airazor somewhere, but I can't find it. So basically what happened, a commercial would pop up and it would say, call this number to, whatever, and if you get through, you win. So what they didn't tell you is they actually turned that hotline on like 15 minutes before the commercial came on. And they used the same number each day. So I just kept calling it until it went through and it went to a voicemail, basically, and I left my name and address, and voila, Airazor. Pretty nice.
Well, now, is that the original Airazor,
Yeah.
or was it the, it is?
Not the Transmetal.
It
It was the good one, the basic Airazor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I really, that was just a great way of getting hooked into Beast Wars. So it was really awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to the news for this week. Does anybody care about the new IMAX movie poster?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
No, not really.
Not really.
I'm excited about the movie.
I don't care about the movie, let alone the poster.
I mean, that's pretty much the shot we saw
in the trailer.
in the last trailer.
Yeah.
And that's the one I was saying that I think he's locked down, and they're saying that's the one where, the gun comes out of his mouth. So
a large percentage of this movie, I don't think it's 100%, but it may be, was shot in IMAX. Meaning that IMAX is pretty much going to be the way to see this. I really love IMAX. Some movies it really makes, like I really didn't like The Dark Knight Rises or whatever it was, but in IMAX it was amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing this in IMAX. It's going to be an experience. So that's going to be pretty great. But I'm not even going to pull up the poster. You can go see it yourself at tformers.com. So the other Transformers, like official Transformers related news item I wanted to talk about this week was the Botcon 2014 convention set. New figures were revealed, which were Ferrac and Tornado, which was based on Nightstick and Cyclonus. What do you guys think about the set? It's nice looking, I guess.
Well, this was someone else's post I saw on Twitter, but it sums it up so far. So far, with the 2 figures we've seen, this is what the Collectors Club is doing right. Obscure characters that would never get made for the fans. Heck, I had to look up and see who Ferrac. I had no idea who that was. I had no clue. I had to look it up.
I like this figure a lot, and I want the rest of Squadron X, quite frankly, so keep them coming.
I like the colors.
I like the
colors.
I like the colors. I would almost rather this. I don't know. I like the colors. I'm not going to go much more beyond that. I'm not getting the set because I'm not going to Botcon this year. But I don't think this is a set that would win me over to purchase it. I love Transformers, but I'm not a completist. I really have to want a set to get it.
The Cannonball figure didn't really do much for me.
Yeah,
so
me neither.
the set overall I'm not going to get, but I think I will seek out this one. So.
I like that they're using a good mold, because that Cyclonus mold is awesome. I am a completist when I start collecting these Hasbro figures, but this is so separated, the Collectors Club figures, that please don't try and convince me that these are part of the Hasbro figures, because I don't want to have to buy them. But yeah, they're far enough away to where I don't feel the need that I have to have them as a completist.
I tend to get my stuff in. I tend to get the peripheral Botcon figures from the last few years. Like last year's, I got from Don. Thank you, Don.
No problem.
But like usually for me, the really cool stuff are the like add-on pieces.
The troop builders.
Yeah. It's been since the G2 set, since there's been a must-have too.
Oh yeah, the G2 set is. I mean, as good as I love the Games of Deception set, where we got the Seekers and Bug Bite and Dreadwing and all that, and that's a phenomenal set. But that G2 set is just something special for me.
Oh, the Games of Deception set, we've also gotten 3 characters of that in a mass release since then.
Yep.
So.
Much to some people's chagrin, but most people who didn't get the Botcon set have been pretty happy with that. But with that being said, it's not the exact same mold. It's a slight retool. But yeah, so actually, it'll probably be until the eventual, cross my fingers, GoBots set that will eventually have to come out until I really have to have a Botcon set.
I have something to tell you, but I can't tell you on here. You may get your wish.
Oh, I know.
He says he can't.
No, I didn't. I'm just saying he may get his wish. That's all I can say.
Oh, I have a pretty
right
good. I have a pretty good feeling I'm going to get that wish.
Right now.
But yeah, so
Okay.
but yeah, so Diecast is alluding to this, and this is the reason that I'm doing the frickin' show this week. Unique Toys revealed Salmor, which is their Psykill homage, aka not Psykill, aka Leader of the Renegades from GoBots, and I'm pretty much blinded to the quality. Like, it might be a great figure, it might be a terrible figure, but I don't care. It's flippin' Psykill. So to me, it looks great. I love it.
It looks really nice.
I want it.
It's a very interesting take on the character.
I want this and the eventual green recolor that will have to happen. Because I like both colors for Psykill.
And if they do if this does well and they do a Leader 1 to counter it, you'll be able to get a Leader 1 in white and the one in blue and white.
Yeah.
Blue, yes.
Blue, yeah.
So that would be something good.
But this looks like a nice figure. It's a motorcycle, which we don't have many of those that are not RC. So it'll be nice. Now, so if you listen back to classic episodes of RSC, and listen forward, we've progressively gotten looser and looser and more lax on, the third-party stuff. And my biggest complaint's always been about, stealing Hasbro IP and so on and so forth. And, GoBots are, a lot of people may not know, but GoBots are Hasbro IP at this point. Since Hasbro bought out, is it Gloob? Tonka. Hasbro bought out Gloob as well, but Tonka was the ones that did GoBots. In the U.S. And, they haven't really done much with GoBots.
Yeah,
I think we got a couple Minicon names in Armada, and that was...
And the name GoBots twice.
And then you've also got the Fracture figure in the Walmart movie exclusive wave.
Until I get a mass release scooter, I'm just going to say that they're not doing anything with
Until
GoBots.
I get a Leader 1.
We got a Leader 1 in Armada.
He
was a Minicon.
He was Megatron's Minicon.
But
for a week,
Copter was Hot Shots, I think.
Yeah. No, Dion's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the club exclusive Dion.
Yeah, exactly. But you're going to say something else, Don?
Oh no, I was just going to say that the Hasbro owns the right to all the names, but Bandai still owns the molds. That's why you'll never see, those great molds released over here again unless they choose to re-release them as something else.
Can they not do the likeness, or is it the likeness out too?
I believe the last time I talked to one of the big GoBot dealers at Botcon, and there's several there, that Hasbro basically just owns the names. The likenesses to the toy is all still belonging to Bandai.
So when was the last time we got something Machine Robo in Japan, new, or based on these characters?
In the
Because Machine Robo is still going on, right? Basically.
No, but Bandai just released basically a high grade level kit, a figure of Phytor or Blue Jet, So there's still the occasional piece being released. It's just as Machine Robo.
I really want this. Like, I'm somehow going to get this. I'll probably... I'm at the point where I'm having to displace one... I have so much crap here, as you can tell. I'm having to displace stuff, so I'm probably going to have to get rid of something to get this, but I will own this. And the eventual...
I'm hoping if he has a gun, when you clip the gun into his hand, it looks like a giant version of Psykill's fist.
That would be awesome. Yeah. I love his gun.
He is a little expensive. I mean, he's $100 for a Voyager size.
And it's from Unique Toys. That gives me a little bit of pause.
Yeah, they've
had some quality issues in the past.
Yeah, I've been watching a few of their Predacon reviews by Evangelists and some other folks. The quality is improving apparently, but from level to level, but still it's a little iffy in some places.
And this is a very expensive figure.
Yeah, they did the Not Galvatron too, and that was a Voyager, roughly Voyager size, right? And that was about 105 or 115, something like that.
115 is about the price I'm seeing nowadays.
And how was the quality on that? Does anyone know?
PL did a review, and he had a pre-production sample that had a few issues, but his post-production sample, they were all fixed. So my problem with that figure was more aesthetics than it was anything else, because head hanging out the bottom.
Yes, that was a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, that was you couldn't have found somewhere to put that head, but
Skullface had just pinged me or messaged me. Hope it's okay if I mention the Skullface. Art for that might end up being the basis for Leader 1. For the Unique Toys Leader 1 when that eventually happens. And,
ooh.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
Ooh. I will buy that.
Ooh, yes.
I will buy that.
And the repaint potentials are just staggering.
I like that picture, too.
Yeah, that's some good artwork. I like that thing. It's basically his classic Leader 1.
Yeah. I like Leader 1. His, of course, his GoBots Machine Robo version toy is a little plain, but I still love it. I really want this to happen, like, so bad.
Yes.
That's one thing that, the third parties haven't really touched on is GoBots. Everybody's, everybody's doing combiners. They're all producing the same thing over top of each other. This is different. This will sell.
Well, GoBots are kind of obscure, and the people who know about GoBots, most of them forgot about GoBots.
Well, no, it's just I'll say this, Diecast. GoBots in the United States has such a negative connotation because of the cartoon. If you remove the cartoon from the equation and look at the figures themselves,
people love GoBots.
People love the figures. It's so interconnected with that bad cartoon. That's why you get these people that always put it down, because they think it's like the cartoon.
And I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is the same. I grew up dirt poor. So not only did I have GoBots, for the most part, instead of the Transformers, I had knockoff GoBots. Because knockoff GoBots were still easy to find as well.
Yep.
So I loves me some GoBots.
I had GoBots. They may have been knockoffs. I don't know. I was young.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, there are GoBots at the price point that you would have bought a ThrottleBot that completely blew the ThrottleBots out of the water as far as complexity, design. Hell, I've got Tux. He's a robot, an evil robot that turns into a limo with a top hat.
Yeah.
That is the most awesome thing ever. Oh, God, Brian. A third-party Tux. Limo, top hat, the whole 9 yards.
That would be excellent.
That would be excellent.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this. Like, Psykill Leader 1, I would be done pretty much there, I think. If with life. I could die happy.
Actually, Scaleface.
What about a Puzzler? Yeah.
I'm one of those people that thinks that Puzzler is nice, but way overrated.
I love Puzzler.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, again, we got the Toy World coming out with that. But yeah, a third-party Vanguard Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would. Oh man, I'm gonna stop giving them ideas.
Need a cheaper paper myself.
Yeah, because I can imagine if they did a Pathfinder in this same style, it would blow the UFO from iGear out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cosmos does that.
Yeah. I didn't actually realize this until a couple days ago that you could actually pop the dome off of the not Cosmos's head, and
really?
I like it a lot better when you take the dome off.
I like the idea. I think it's a great idea in concept, but no, you can't eat my wires.
I wonder why his mic wasn't working earlier.
That's probably it. So I just want to say this. So I am putting that third party. I am putting that JD podcast together, and I am definitely going to feature as much Massey references as I can.
Massey.
Yeah.
Oh God. We will miss that.
Yeah. I'll make sure that Rob and I do quite a bit of that this weekend. I'll get that recorded at the table. One more item in the news before we jump to break. We have new images of the fans' toy Scoria. It's new test shot images. And it's such a nice looking toy. It's such a nice looking toy that's just a little bit too big. But
because in those pictures, Grimlock has his booster feet on, and he's still. If Slag was like a half-inch short, and I've never let scale bother me, but for some reason, this is bugging me, and I don't know why, but it is.
But it's such a gorgeous figure.
I know.
It's got a lot of gold and a lot of, the flames coming out of the mouth are really nice touch.
I love it. I really do, except for the size.
Yeah, the size. And I'm sorry, those shoes on Grimlock make him look ridiculous. They're just not.
The cool thing is, on my shelf, I have plenty of extra cassette tapes that I can't use anymore, so I'll be putting those under Grimlock's feet and boosting him up like that.
Yeah, just stand him on a Decepticon, like lay him down and stand him on there and throw those feet to the side, and that'll probably look a little bit better.
Well, I don't think the feet look bad, it's just...
I think they look bad.
Yeah, I think they look bad.
Like platform shoes. That's what I'm saying. He needs to have a cane and a nice little pimp cape or something. And
okay, if anyone out there watches this podcast and can do Photoshop, because I sure can't, please take Masterpiece Grimlock into Pimp Daddy, into Pimp Daddy mode. I would just love to see what that would come
Forget
out at.
Photoshop. Dr. Wu, please give me a cane and a cape.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Well, like I said, you have to have Pimp Daddy Destro to ride
Absolutely.
him.
Oh, yes. God, yeah. That's true. Any of you guys have that?
No, I don't.
Everyone I know wants one, but...
How much does he go for? I mean, he showed up for what, $35 at SDCC, something like that?
Last time I looked for somebody else, it was like 60 or 70 still. It was...
I would love to have the Sergeant Slaughter and that Zorana, and I think I could be done.
What are you doing?
Let's go ahead and jump to Q&A with Rob Springer, and we'll be back right after this.
You boys a bit bored? Snap into it! Snap into a Slim Jim!
Hey guys, it's Rob, and this week's question comes from Michael Smith. Michael Smith goes on to ask, this is a long one, why such a drastic change in the design style from the previous movie toys? To the AOE ones. Do you think having both Rescue Heroes and TF4 toys both aimed at such a low age demographic and skill level would be overkill or oversaturation of the youth market, thus alienating other customers? I don't see Sony or Microsoft creating game systems with controllers scaled back to a single control stick and button to keep from being too complex, or removing the alphanumeric keyboards from their computers and replacing them with pictures like cash registers in the fast food restaurants, where we must expect them to eventually work, as they will have taken away any educational challenges they may face. Well, Michael, I guess you missed that they're still making regular Transformers for TF4. Because they are, so don't worry about that. Here's the thing, okay? If you see it, Hasbro has an age bracket, basically markup, okay? Small children, which is what Rescue Bots are aimed for. A little bit older, but still young children, what they're aiming these one-step transformations for. And then there's a gap from like a little bit older than that to like late teens, because that's when kids are playing video games. And, you know, while Sony or Microsoft is creating the systems as they are, if you notice, the majority of their marquee titles are aimed at a mature audience. So that's not really... there is some kiddie games made for those systems, but I don't think they're even really remotely concerned about the smaller child. They're just like, well, someone wants to make a game, great. And hey, Nintendo. But even then, Nintendo, that Wii U controller might be too complex for a child. But there's like the VTech and Leapfrog and stuff for those smaller children. So basically, I don't think Sony and Microsoft's even worried about catering to smaller children. They're just worried about whoever's going to buy it. And then, you know, I think it's after 17 when it picks back up from 17 to adult collector for generation stuff. So basically, they're making smaller children's toys for smaller children, but it doesn't really affect them, because if they're a little older and they still want action figures, they can buy the generations figures, which are still being made to pass safety regulations. So you ain't got nothing to worry about, dude. And when it comes to you know, them about this basically taking away educational challenges, nah. I mean, think about those Bumblebee, the original one. Click, click, head. And a lot of us are okay, and a lot of us are dumb. It's not up to the toys; it's up to us to go after what we want in educational wise. I don't think the toys are really going to inspire too much more than that. It's going to be up to, from one kid going, all right, robot, to, hey, how's this work? You know what I mean? And those one-step transformations, there's a lot of moving parts in there to make it work out. So you still got a kid saying, oh, robot, to, hey, that was neat. How did that do that? And it becomes a stepping stone. Okay? So basically, it's not so much worrying about what kind of people Simple Toys would create. It's more like what kind of people are playing with Simple Toys. I mean, you give one kid a crayon and he's drawing a stick, or he's just doing this on the coloring book. You give another kid the exact same age from the exact same background, and he's not drawing something kind of neat, or he's colored a really nice picture. You know what I'm saying? It's more for the child than the toy. So I wouldn't even worry about that. So basically, I got this email for Toy Fair too. So I think Michael might have missed the pictures of the regular toys. So don't worry, Michael. They're still making traditional Transformers. They're just and be honest with you, they've made these simpler toys for the movies prior, and even some of the regular series. I think they're just making a more market focus toward them for these people. Like, hey, your kids can play with these too, and that's it. Really, I wouldn't worry about it, Mike. Well, thanks for your question, Michael. And if anyone's got any questions, please send them to rob@tfradio.net, or just check out tfradio.net for all our shows and showtimes. And yeah, you can check out all of our different social medias like Facebook and such, and send me a question that way. I'll answer them. You can look at my blog, roborobspringer.tumblr.com, and see what I'm blogging about too. And you know what else you can do? You can take a breath of fresh air. It's nice. It smells good. Actually, it doesn't smell good. I just farted a little bit ago, and it's pretty stinky. That was a really bad analogy. I'm sorry. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. I just was like, bye, and then stumbled with the mouse to find a stop button. There it is. Bye.
Radio Free Cybertron has teamed up with Kokomo Toys and Collectibles in Kokomo, Indiana. If you're in the Kokomo area, visit our store for a huge selection of new and classic toys. Visit online at www.kokomotoys.com for our address and store hours. While you're there, check out our listing of pre-order items, as well as visit our eBay store. Visit us at www.kokomotoys.com. That's KOKOMOTOYS.com. We're also on Facebook.
We are back. So Don was on TFYLP last week, and he'll be back on this week. It's, what is it, a discussion on Masterpiece throughout history, Don?
Yep. We started with the MPO-1 and the significances of the toy, and we're discussing the pros and cons of the Masterpieces since then. A lot of people are torn between, up to this point, who their favorite is. It's almost a dead heat between Grimlock and MPO-1 Prime. Megatron is not scoring as high as... I can't even tell the straight face.
So I was watching that live, and whenever I watch another Transformers podcast or whatever, I want to just insert my opinion so bad. But you know what? I don't know what my favorite Masterpiece toy is. I'd like to say Masterpiece Soundwave, but I can't. Probably Masterpiece Grimlock. It's definitely not MPO-1.
Well, it's like we were saying, Brian. The MPO-1, to me, you kind of have to take that out of the equation because there's so much nostalgic about seeing that for the first time and the weight of that figure.
It was amazing. 10 years ago.
I still have mine on display.
I do too.
It's just, to be fair to the rest of the Masterpieces, you really need to take MP1 out of the equation.
Mine's in the shot right now. Sorry.
Plus, if you watched last week's episode, you can watch Massey randomly attack me for no reason.
I did. It was awesome.
That's always fun.
That's at tftalk.net, I think. So that was fun. And you are going to be back on this week, which will air Friday?
Friday, I believe we're starting around 8 or so, give or take, barring any internet issues.
So make sure that you are following them on Twitter and on Facebook. Just look for TFYLP on Facebook, and you should be good to go. So I am going to wrap the show up. This is a mini-sode. That's when I emailed the guys today. I'm like, hey, let's do a mini-sode because I have to have it up pretty fast. So that's it.
That's what he said.
Yep. Oh, God. Let's not go back to last week's show. It's better.
As awesome as it was, no.
Yes, I loved last week's show.
And we are sorry, Don. I can't tell you. I got at least 3 or 4 people contact me that basically shamed me for how awful we picked on you. And I had to tell them all that we apologized thoroughly after the show, but I don't think...
Yes, so anyone they all apologize. I'm just waiting for the checks in the mail at this point.
Yeah.
And we still feel bad.
I still feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But last week's show was so fun. If you haven't gone back and watched or listened to it, look for Radio Free Cybertron 353. XV was back. Hey, Mickey was there. Amy was on, I think. Lots of people. It was fun. Lots and lots of people. And not much to talk about. That's why it went so blue so fast.
Well, Hey Mickey and the alcohol probably didn't help.
Hey Mickey was a little drunk. But that's the show for this week. Find us at tfradio.net and on Facebook. Just search for Radio Free Cybertron and on Twitter. And if you catch this before Saturday, March 14th, 15th, and you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, come by Jolanta. Rob Springer and I will be there. Check out Rob's Transformers panel. That's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I may see if I can get a recording of it. If so, we will use it.
Please record it.
Oh, record it. Whether or not I can post it's the question. So, but that will be fun. So we will be back next week. I'm assuming. If not, we won't be. I guess. What I really want to do is put together that JD tribute show, but it'll probably be the week after that because I need some time to get that done. But like I was trying to explain to Kim this week, because she's been pushing me to do it for a good reason, because she wants me to do it. It's going to help me, I think, deal with some of this. It'll just be a good chance to relive some good memories. But I'm like, this is going to take me like 40 or 50 hours of listening to put together. So, yeah, it's got to squeeze that in. But I guess that'll do it for the guys. Brian Kilby. We'll be back next week. Have a good one.
Later, guys.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you.
Transformers. It's better than crack.